Hey, good morning, everyone. Today's Friday, the 17th of June, and we're going to take a look at the market. So, if you've been following along like I have, these Chinese stocks have really been outperforming for the last couple of weeks, and I really started to take notice of BABA back on June 8th when it crossed above this year-to-date VWAP, and that's not really, just a signal to buy. Kind of want to wait for, some sort of consolidation around this level. So that's what I've been looking for, through the previous high VWAP up here, and now after this big gap up, we're up 10.5% today. Market just opened. We're just pressing below this. So I'm going to continue to monitor the situation and see if we get a breakout today. And if we do, I'll probably go long. I got to check the ATR, see what that's like. But yeah, probably around that 117 level. And this one was pretty easy to tell. We'll pull up the RSI. You can see these bullish trend lines as we're moving higher. RSI continuing to move higher. And even as we were moving lower down in this area through May and April, RSI was continuing to go up. So that's a very bullish sign. Moving on to DQ. This is a stock that's within the TAN. Let's see what TAN is. TAN's the solar ETF. So this is a semiconductor company that kind of specializes within the solar industry. And this one has been, on my watch list because it made this initial move above the year-to-date VWAP. And this is a big move, peak to trough, or trough to peak. This was an 86% move. So this is kind of, getting in that territory of a high type flag. If you know what that is, this is a very powerful setup. And if you don't, just type in high type flag on YouTube and you'll find some really good videos. I kind of wanted this gap not to get filled, just show that strength was there. This could be a good continuation gap, runaway gap, but it got filled, so now we're just kind of watching. Same kind of thing as BABA. We're watching the 62.25 level, and I'll use the ATR to really make my buy stop. But yeah, this one's holding up well, holding that 20-day moving average, which is what you want to see in a stage 2 breakout. So this is definitely one of the best stocks that you could be watching for an upside breakout. And then finally, back to the oil sector. So this is PBF Energy. 45.28 was where I was going to get long at, but this one has pulled back a lot, pulling down the RSI. So you had this bearish RSI here, and then we broke out on this May 27th date, which was good. Got you out of this base right here and kind of made that last leg. And it had a huge RSI run, got all the way up to 86 up here, which is fine, It's always good to see the winners get those high readings. As long as they come down, I really wanted to see this level hold right here, this previous resistance now turned support. Well, it just crashed right through that. So not exactly the most bullet situation, but still, nonetheless, you just got to trade. But there is nothing to really do here. Pretty far away from that breakout point. The PPO histogram is still continuing to gain downside momentum, so definitely not something you're just going to blindly jump into. Let's take a look at some cryptos. So Bitcoin still way below the year-to-date. Yesterday's move brought it down to around the 20,000 level, and now we're kind of just hovering right above it. Same thing with ETH, brought it down around the 1,000 level, now we're just hovering right above it. Helium's one that actually looks a little bit better. You could say there's kind of like a cup and handle forming here, and this $12 would be the pivot, but it's still way below the year-to-date VWAP, so that's not really something I'm interested in looking at. Binance Coin straight down, Aave straight down, VeChain straight down, and then Solana just straight down. Let's look at some commodities. So lumber, nothing going on here. This is the talk of the town. Back in 2021, 2020, even at the end of 2021 and going into 2022, it wasn't bad, but ever since this March date, it's just been going straight down. Let's take a look at oil. Everyone thought we'd get a big move after breaking out of this consolidation from March 7th to kind of this May 13th, but now we're getting a pullback. You could say this is still a stage 2 we're kind of forming a stage 3 right here after this, last 2 weeks, 3 weeks of price action, but, maybe we're just getting our retest that we never got, pulling back to this previous resistance. Now it's kind of holding us support, and then maybe we get a turnaround. Same kind of thing that I was showing you on that PBF stock. So we had this previous RSI resistance, this bearish resistance, and now we're kind of going to go back and test it, so we'll see if that holds. Same thing on gas, except this one has a lot more bearish divergence that it has to work off. Natural gas, same kind of thing. This one's ugly up in here. This is definitely stage 3. Copper, stage 4 decline. Gold is forming a stage 1 in here. This is something we talked about yesterday, and it's something I'm still watching. Really interested in seeing how it's going to perform around this 1882 level. And then silver, just too far away from the year-to-date for me to be interested in it right now. Let's look at the SPY. SPY just pulling an inside day. Nothing to do here. Everything's straight down. Bonds, trying to fill this gap here, but we're still so far away from the year-to-date that there's nothing worth trading here. Let's look at small caps. Same thing as the S&P. We're just holding this inside day. Same thing with the Qs. And then the Dow Jones as well, just holding this inside day. Let's look at the VIX. So the VIX is still holding up around this 35 level. I posted that chart on Twitter today. Maybe this inverse head and shoulders plays out with this 35 level as the breakout, but we'll see. And then let's look at the dollar. So this is the same kind of thing I was watching. We had this big divergence here, this bearish RSI trend line, and then we saw a big reversal yesterday. But now we're holding an inside day, and the previous resistance is holding a support. So this trade may not be over yet. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like I said, these 3 stocks, BABA, DQ, and PBF, those are the only 3 I'm really interested in, even thinking about going long, and I'm not even thinking about doing that right now. And we're already down 3% from the open on BABA, so this could have just been a big pre-market pump, and now all these longs are getting trapped, and they're going to sell it short. So